This is what is very likely going to be coming next in Grand Theft Auto Online, and it's going to take fans back to 2020 and a cut DLC that never made its way into the game. We'll be talking about all of that in this video today, and a whole lot more. So naturally, as the content and as the drip feed from the Los Santos Drug Wars update is starting to come to an end, a lot of people are talking about, well, what's next for Grand Theft Auto Online, and what sort of DLC or update is Rockstar going to provide us with next? And this prompted Rockstar Games insider TezFunds2 to talk about what they could actually do. So he ended up saying this: I curiously wonder if Rockstar is planning to turn Cops and Crooks into 2020's Alien War for the summer or December update, because the source leaks showed us many details of how Cops and Crooks would have worked, and it was more of an adversary mode with special abilities. Like we have these leftovers from the player special ability.ymt file. And it's a long list, so I won't be able to show you the entire thing in this video. It would absolutely take up a ton of space, but I'll go over some of the most interesting ones in there. Like, for example, they all start with C&C, which stands for Cops and Crooks. One of them says Crook Enforcer Special. The other one says Cop Tech Special. The other one, Cop Officer Special, Cop Officer Vehicle, Crook Hacker Vehicle, Cop Tech Vehicle, Cop Tactical Special, Crook Hacker Special, Crook Enforcer Vehicle, Crook Foot Special, not sure what that means, Crook Foot Vehicle, and then Cop Tactical Vehicle out. So lots of things for cops, crooks, vehicles, special abilities, all that sort of stuff is found in the player's files. And then he says, and the following from the source leaks, and it says crook abilities. You can see crook ability, special ability, passive ability, and vehicle ability. And he said, simply put, Rockstar can remodel all of this into something fitting, an Alien War DLC. So to get you guys caught up, in case you don't remember, back in 2020 in the summer update, we were supposed to get a DLC centered around Cops versus Crooks, or Cops and Crooks, a police update. And whether it be the pandemic or whether it be other events that transpired in the world, Rockstar decided it's not the best time to have this update come out. And so parts of that update were added into future DLCs or scrapped all the way around. But what TezFunds2 is saying here is Rockstar could turn a lot of the things we see in the Cops and Crooks update into an Alien War style update for summer or December. So instead of it being cops versus crooks, it'll simply be one side versus another side. And we've seen a lot of hints about how Rockstar have loved the idea of the Alien War. Not only did they embrace it back when it was a thing, giving us the costumes and the weapons used for free, they also tried to create their own in the Sprunk versus E-Cola, and even in further interviews have talked about how they have enjoyed the idea so much and want to do it even more. So is it going to be Cops and Crooks with an Alien War style twist? That's kind of what it's looking like it could be right now. Now, more follow-up to this entire conversation, as insider TezFunds2 continued, saying it may not be a DLC of itself, but more advanced free mode events with special abilities inspired by Cops and Crooks stuff. Responding to someone that said, I just want Cops and Crooks. It's been 3 years since the police controversy. And they ended up responding to that as well, saying large parts of what had been planned for C&C were introduced in past DLCs. At this point, what's left is the special version of an adversary mode, or what Rockstar calls it, an arcade match within the files. So hopefully this is not a 2.0 version of the free mode events update. Remember, that came out in 2015. I liked the idea of it, but there wasn't a lot of substance there, and I feel like right now that's not what people want to see in Grand Theft Auto Online, is more of these random free mode events. I don't think that that's something players want to dive into, and it has been 3 years since the controversy happened, but as he said, large parts of that have already been introduced in DLCs since then. Remember, Los Santos Summer Special took the place of that. Then we had other updates like tuners, and we had the contract DLC. So unfortunately, it looks like the only thing that Rockstar has left is actually an adversary mode or an arcade match that could be a version of Cops and Crooks. And I know at this point, some of you are probably throwing up hearing the word adversary mode, but maybe there's a chance Rockstar could expand it and turn it into something that's a full-fledged update that has that mixture of Cops and Crooks and the sort of alien war stuff that we got back in 2020, and that Rockstar have continued to do sort of on their own since then. And then last but not least, to sort of wrap this thing up, he said this: honestly, I'm hoping for something that gives you a sense of community obligation. I would take that over grinding for GTA money. The crew system, for example, has been outdated since release. If Rockstar invested into that more, maybe outside of grinding, you could take care of your crew progress. And this is something that Rockstar actually talks about in an interview that they did a couple of weeks ago about the idea of community-based objectives, something they want to present in their design choices rather than an externally pushed event. So it felt more natural to the world. And they liked the idea of the community-led events like Green versus Purple. That's the alien gang war. And Insider TezFunds2 said this: community-based objectives would give that sense of obligation. You log in and you see that the community is only 80% away from completing the objective. You would grind whatever the activity is, regardless whether it doubled or not. And if Rockstar could establish a sense of ownership within future updates, like holding out a territory within a game, that would be an incentive to log in to do something other than grinding. However, the structure of the game is still stuck in 2013. Therefore, what Rockstar could come up with is a session-based territory control, not a feature where you could log off and log back to see your territories are still there. Rockstar would be able to do that in GTA Online 2. Anyways, the point is that it's going to feel like an adversary mode match, but either way, that's better than nothing. So TezFunds2 brings up a really valid point, is that Rockstar kind of has their hands tied here. Now, in a way, this is sort of their own fault, as they're still updating Grand Theft Auto Online, and we haven't moved on to Grand Theft Auto Online 2 or GTA 6, but the game was made in 2013 for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. It's a decade later, and we're on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. So the game is very, very old, and so because of that, they aren't able to do a lot of the things that many modern titles can do. So they're kind of working with one hand tied behind their back. So it might have to be something like a Cops and Crooks or Alien War version of an adversary mode, because that's all Rockstar can do. And they can't do something where it is this, like, you know, log in, log out, your territory will still be there. You might have to only be able to do something in a certain session, and because of that, it might be limited to like an adversary mode. But anyways, I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. What do you think Rockstar is going to do next in Grand Theft Auto Online? Do you think it's going to have to do something with Cops and Crooks or an expanded Alien War update? Or do you think it's going to be something entirely different altogether? Let me know what you think in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.